Sabah everybody and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about a couple of Alcatel devices, namely the 3V for Metro PCS and the JoyTap Kids for T-Mobile. Now, both of these devices are connected and they both support a 4000 milliamp battery, but again, this one's a tablet, this one's a phone, both made by Alcatel. Thank you very much to Alcatel for allowing me to check out both of these devices and share with you guys my thoughts. This is TK, let's check them out. Like and subscribe and make sure you hit that bell icon so they are always notified whenever we have new videos on the channel. Both of these devices are made by Alcatel. This one's made specifically to Metro by T-Mobile and this one's made directly for T-Mobile. They're both connected and again, as I mentioned to you guys, running about a 4000 milliamp battery. This one does include a bumper case, an 8-inch display, and again a 4080 milliamp battery that is housed within the device. It is intended for kids aged 3 to 13, although if you do want to give this to, let's say, a child or your son or daughter that is actually older than this, you could just run the actual tablet like a normal tablet without the Kidomi application, and it does actually function quite well. Again, 8-inch tablet, 4000 milliamp battery, and it is connected with 4G LTE. As far as the Alcatel 3V, this is by far one of the biggest devices that I've seen from Alcatel. It is running a massive display, and we'll get into it, the actual specifications, but overall a nice device that will run on Metro by PCS. It does connect with 4G LTE. It is running Android 9.0 out of the box, 6.7-inch HD display, which is a 720p display, 16 megapixel plus 5 megapixel a camera. Now the 16 megapixel is the main shooter, the 5 megapixel is an assist, an 8 megapixel front facing camera for selfies and videos, 32 gigs of internal storage expandable via SD card, and of course 2 gigahertz octa-core processor, and this is a MediaTek processor. In the box we'll have the actual phone itself, a SIM card if we need to use it, a charger with USB-C data charging, so you're able to charge this with USB-C, very nice, quick starting guide, and this actually still includes a headphone jack. As far as the JoyTap itself, as I mentioned to you guys, we do have the integrated kickstand that's built into the case. It's a soft rubber case to help protect the actual device. Now it does basically say this is a kid-friendly experience. We're using the Kidomi application, easy to use for kids aged 3 to 13, a massive battery to be able to last you all day, and a colorful rubberized case to be able to support it. 8-inch tablet, 32 gigs of internal storage with 2 gigs of RAM, optional SD card sold separately because it does support it, so you can actually expand the storage or at least add storage. A 5 megapixel back and front facing camera for HD video, 720p resolution similar to the display, Android 9 with Google Assistant built in, so Android Pie out of the box, and I did receive a couple of updates since I've received the tablet from Alcatel. Now looking in the box, as I mentioned to you guys, the tablet itself does include the rubberized case. This is easily removed. The tablet for the most part looks very similar to the JoyTap that we've seen before. What we do have here essentially is a little door that opens up. We're able to add a SD card and a SIM card, and I do have my SIM card inserted in here, and we'll do a quick speed test there and I'll share that with you guys. The 5 megapixel camera on the back and on the front. We have a power button, a volume rocker, and nothing else sitting on this side. On the left side we have that nice little door here. The back is made out of plastic, and that's just also to kind of give you guys a heads up that the speaker is back facing and it is facing away from you. On the top we have a 3.5mm headphone jack, a micro USB charger to be able to charge it, as well as the fact that we have an IR blaster to be able to control your TV. So if you're using this as an adult, you're able to use this as a remote control. On the bottom, not much. And then of course the case itself is definitely very nice, very thick. The joints actually are very nice and very thick. It has a cutout opening directly for the camera, inserting it very simple. Once you have it on, you have a nice little cutout for the camera. The buttons are actually clickable. You can actually turn on and turn off the display with the volume rocker. All the ports are open, the IR blaster as well as the charging port and the 3.5mm headphone jack, and of course the speaker on the back. We do have that little handle that actually will work great for kids, so you can actually use it to hang it, which is really functional, especially if you're traveling. You can also position it as kind of just more media consumption, and when you're done you can actually just position it at the bottom. I'm not sure why, but sometimes it does actually kind of pop up, but it doesn't actually pop up enough to fall out. There is a little bit of an indentation up here and here for grip, so it definitely will give the kids a good ability of actually holding the tablet, and again just gives you access to the entire UI and functionality. The UI that we have here is Android 9.0 in almost stock experience. If we are not in the Kidomi application, you'll notice that there's some shortcuts here for being able to launch some applications. The Kidomi app is loaded right there. You're able to open it up, come back. It's very simple as far as the UI, running Android 9.0, almost a stock experience. And you have a system update as well as an app update, and this allows you to update basically applications on the tablet or just specifically updating the operating system. And as you can see, it is running the latest version. Overall, no bloatware other than basically installing the Kidomi application, specific apps, and then the Google suite of applications. We'll go ahead and launch the Kidomi application. And while this is starting up, in the box we still have a SIM card in the startup guide, a charger, a US style charger, and a micro USB to USB type A connector to be able to use it with this charger to charge up your tablet. Now, as far as the Alcatel 3V, this is a 6.7-inch device that's running a 720p panel. Now, it does have a fingerprint sensor in the back, and it actually is pretty fast. Let's go ahead and launch it one more time. And it actually kind of looks really nice. So here you go. You can see kind of how fast this response fingerprint sensor is, and it actually works much, much better than having obviously any other technology that we have there. It'll work faster than PIN, and it is definitely more secure. The operating system that we are running here is very similar, Android 9.0 out of the box. We can swipe up and we'll see here that we have some of the Metro PCS applications loaded in here. I already did load up basically PUBG, TikTok, of course there's YouTube, all the Google suite of applications. And let's go ahead and go back home. I can show you that those are the apps that I actually just loaded. So Play Games, TikTok, CPU-Z, just to kind of see the specifications that we have in here. And of course, I did get a chance to get a game of PUBG running here. Keep in mind that this is a 720p display, even though it's a large, massive display. It is definitely very nice. On the right, we have a volume rocker and a power button. On the top, we have a IR blaster, a headphone jack, as well as a microphone. And on the left side, we have a SIM tray that's capable of providing us the expansionless SD card, as well as the memory card expansion with the ejection option. On the bottom, we have bottom firing vents with a USB-C port. And of course, that's pretty much on the back. The back is made out of plastic, and we do not have wireless charging, and we also have mono speakers. The good thing though is that we do support USB-C out of the box, which is really, really nice. Now the camera is in the back. We have a 16 and a 5 megapixel camera. Now the 16 megapixel camera is the main shooter, and the other one is more of an assist for bokeh effects. And of course the front facing 8 megapixel camera that helps to basically get some good selfie camera images. Let's go ahead and launch the camera application real quick. And you'll notice here, basically I've taken some images with it here. So here's a quick picture that I took here in my backyard. Not that bad overall. In good lighting, it should be able to do a good job for obviously videos and pictures, although no 4K recording on this, so just keep that in mind. Now in the box, they do include a SIM removal tool, this of course a SIM card, an instruction manual, a USB-C to USB-A cable, as well as a wall charger to be able to charge up your device. So everything that you need pretty much to be able to use it. They do not include headphones in there, so just keep in mind that you do need to provide your own. Now switching back to the JoyTab Kids, you can set up the profile up to 3 kids with 1 account from Kidomi, and you're able to basically specify the age of the child. So for here, I set up my child to be basically a 10 to 13, and here basically being an age 4. You can actually go directly into the actual management app. You hit the option here, you hit the little family option, and then you can set your personal PIN. Once you have that set up, you have the ability of customizing the UI for your child. As I mentioned, you can have up to 3 kids, so basically you can customize them and you'll have a different tab for each one of your childs. And of course you can manage the storage and as far as settings and of course the PIN. Other than that, you can actually customize it by going into your actual child's profile. You can go in there and see what they've been using after some time. Obviously this hasn't been used, it's brand new. We have set up basically the time limit. You have unlimited or limited, and you can customize it by games, books, and videos. As I'll show you guys that the UI is actually very nicely customized. And of course you can go into favorites and so on. Let me actually exit this one. We'll go back into Omar's. And then in here, you'll see under time limits, I've set to have it 2 hours for games, 4 hours for books, and 1 hour for video every day. And it resets every day after that. Favorites will be the ability for us to add applications either directly from the Kidomi system or directly from our device. So you can download things from the Play Store and then add them later, as we see here with the Google Play Music. The Coda games and the calculator are based in here already. So if I go ahead and say cancel, I'll go ahead and say cancel again, and I'll go under the Omar profile. You'll notice again, everything's pre-customized. They can customize their avatar, and they can also customize some additional things to their liking. But you can see a check mark next to the new things that were added, so that the child will know exactly which one is added. Popular videos, trending games, and then do it yourself, of course, exploring, and of course anything else that you'd like to add for them, and they can actually carousel through the different functionalities, Peppa Pig, and all of that stuff. If you want to be able to switch, you can actually go in and click. You can see the battery level, the volume control, refresh, as well as go back into your management. And if you want to exit it, you just go ahead and click the parent profile. And once you're in that welcome UI, you can actually hit exit Kidomi, and you're back into the standard 9.0 running Alcatel JoyTab, and you're able to use it normally. Again, 5 megapixel back sensor, front 5 megapixel back sensor. And as I mentioned to you guys at the beginning, that this is also supporting LTE. So let's go ahead and turn off the Wi-Fi connectivity, and you can see right there, there it says showing the 4G LTE, and I did run a speed test just a second ago. Let's go ahead and open up the camera. Overall, not that bad. It's LTE, and it is a connected tablet. You can install Netflix, any other content creation or content consumption application, and it should work very nicely for you, either directly on the standard UI or the Kidomi UI for kids. And again, it's definitely very nice, very ruggedized, and meant to protect your device for your children, again, ages 3 to 13. Now, the Alcatel 3V's main features is the fact that it has a 6.7-inch display. It's almost a 7-inch display. It is 720p, but because of that, and the fact that we have a 4,000 milliamp battery in here, we're able to use this device for quite some time, and it actually should be able to last you a long time. Now, I'm running TikTok here mostly just to show you guys how the resolution, how the real estate is actually so much nicer. Now, I'm connecting it via Wi-Fi here, mostly because I do not have a Metro PCS SIM card. I do have a T-Mobile one, but they're not exactly the same. Metro is by T-Mobile, but it is not T-Mobile here. As far as the specifications, we're running an octa-core up to 2 GHz processor, a MediaTek processor, and of course you could see right there, this is made by Alcatel, well, TCL and Alcatel. It's a 720p display, and battery, as I mentioned to you guys, almost basically 4,000, and we are running about 2 gigs of available RAM. This is internal storage, 32, 24 available. Other than that, I think for the most part it is running Android P, as I mentioned to you guys, and of course it does receive update, and it did receive a couple of updates since I've actually had the device. Overall, this is definitely going to be very nice. I did get a chance to play a quick game of PUBG on this yesterday, and the experience wasn't too bad. It did not play at the highest settings, but it definitely did play good enough for me to be able to enjoy it. The audio is very nice. It does get nice and loud. Volume rocker and the power button are on the top, which is nice. No additional buttons needed here. We do have the 3.5mm headphone jack, as well as the IR blaster, which is definitely a very nice addition. And of course, overall, not bad for both of these devices, technically under 200 bucks from their respective companies, made by Alcatel and TCL. And of course, you can see right there the display, just absolutely gorgeous. The viewing angles are actually not too bad. It does get a little bit dark on the side, which is expected, but overall definitely very nice. Now, for a quick audio test, I'm going to run both of these devices. I'm going to play the same song. This is NCS by Alex Scrindo, basically no copyright, and of course this is called Jumbo. I have the volume set to 100% here on the tablet. Not the bassiest sound and not the loudest sound, and because of course it's facing the other way, I definitely would recommend you guys using a 3.5mm headphone jack, pair of headphones, to be able to enjoy content. But the way the setup is done here, because we have to actually cup the actual handle on the right side, it does kind of send the voice or the sound ever so slightly to the front. It's not bad, but it should be good enough. But in the car, if you're traveling, a pair of headphones would definitely be a really nice addition to this device. As far as the 3V, let's go ahead and turn on same song, Alex Scrindo Jumbo by NCS release. Now, this one definitely sounds a lot better, and again, the sound is firing out of the bottom right opening, and I'm assuming the bottom left is for the additional microphone for the cameras that we have in the back. Let's go ahead and do a quick front-facing and back-facing camera video on both the 3V and the Joy Tab kids. So this is the front-facing camera on the Joy Tab. This is running 2 different 5-megapixel sensors, one on the front, one on the back. We don't have a way of customizing the video on either the front or the back camera, but this should be a good example of, let's say you're using this to make a quick video, what it should look like and sound like directly from the front-facing camera. Let's go ahead and switch over to the back. Went ahead and switch over to the back-facing sensor. Again, a quick sample of audio, video, using a handheld experience with the Joy Tab. If you're just trying to make videos, let's say directly within the Kadomi application, or if you're using it directly with the standard UI, this should be pretty much what you should expect. This is a quick video sample from the Alcatel 3V using the front-facing camera. Now, we don't have a way of customizing what level of video recording we're going to be getting, so this is pretty much just the best that you can get. But this should be a good example of how the audio and the video looks like from the front-facing camera. Let's go ahead and switch over to the back sensor. Went ahead and switched over to the back-facing sensor. We still don't have a way of customizing the video recording resolution, but again, this should be a good example of how it should be basically with good lighting, audio, video, handheld on the Alcatel 3V. Overall, both of these devices will last you a really long time. Now, this one is a tablet, obviously, that'll run either normal stock Android 9.0, or you can run the Kadomi application to be able to provide a more user-friendly experience for kids. Now, they're targeting it between age 3 to 13, and again, this will work with anybody. Retail pricing for this is about $190 out the door, so if you want to basically finance it through T-Mobile, you have that option. But otherwise, for a connected tablet that runs 4G LTE on T-Mobile with the ability of expanding storage, as well as having the ability of just using both UIs, either kid-specific or just general overall in Android 9.0, I think it actually does a pretty good job. Now, the cameras are not going to be the greatest, and of course, speakers are not going to be the greatest. I recommend using a pair of headphones with this, but if you're traveling with the kids in the car and you want to give them something a little bit more ruggedized that they can actually drop and bang against the floor, I feel like this one is definitely made specifically for them, as they include the actual bumper with the box. So that's something you don't have to buy separately, although I would recommend maybe getting a protector or a screen protector for the front. Definitely really enjoying the fact that the 3V is a massive display on a device that is basically sub 200 bucks, 4000 milliamp battery, expandable storage, and it is of course supporting a fingerprint sensor on the back that is actually not bad, and it works quite well. Cameras are also pretty decent in good lighting, as long as you're experiencing, as you guys saw with the video that I showed you, we're not going to have 4K, we're not going to have, any high refresh rate, but definitely really nice, sub 200 bucks again on Metro. And if you want to just use this as, let's say, maybe even a small tablet, this works really nice. It is a massive device after all. I want to say thank you very much to Alcatel for allowing me to check out both the JoyTab Kids and the 3V and share with you guys my initial impressions. I think if you're looking for a sub $200 device, either a tablet or a phone, the phone's kind of close to a tablet anyways, I think they both are offering us a really good experience for the price point that we get. And of course, this offers us the protection for kids in case you do want to hand this over to your young ones. This is TK. Thank you very much for the support. Like and subscribe as usual, and I'll see you guys in the next video.